At the department meeting, my boss blamed me for his $400,000 mistake. Everyone nodded in agreement. I didn't defend myself, just quietly forwarded an email. By 3 p.m., security was escorting him out, and he still had no idea what hit him. I work in procurement for a mid-sized manufacturing company. My boss, Derek, takes credit when things go well and finds scapegoats when they don't. For 2 years, I documented everything. Every email, every approval, every decision. I'd watched him throw 3 people under the bus before me. Last month, Derek greenlit a massive steel order from a new supplier, bypassing our usual vendor. I flagged concerns about their delivery reliability and quality control. Derek dismissed my memo during our one-on-one. Stop being so risk-averse, Marcus. This is how we stay competitive. I sent my concerns in writing. He replied with a thumbs-up emoji. The order arrived 6 weeks late. Half the steel was the wrong grade, completely unusable for our automotive contracts. Our production line sat idle for 11 days. Penalties from delayed shipments hit $380,000. Add the cost of emergency sourcing from our original vendor at premium rates, and we were looking at over $400,000 in losses. Monday morning, Derek called an emergency department meeting. The whole team crammed into the conference room. Derek stood at the head of the table, laptop open. He clicked to a slide showing the massive loss in red numbers. Then, he looked directly at me. This disaster falls squarely on procurement's failure to properly vet suppliers. Marcus was responsible for due diligence, and he assured me this vendor was solid. My stomach dropped. Every head turned toward me. Derek continued. I trusted my team to do their jobs. When someone gives me the green light, I have to believe they've done the work. This is a catastrophic failure of basic responsibility. Sarah from accounting nodded slowly. Tom from operations looked down at his notepad. Even Jennifer, who I'd helped last quarter, wouldn't meet my eyes. Derek's assistant, Kelsey, actually whispered something to the person next to her. They both glanced at me. I could have defended myself right there. Could have said he ignored my warnings. Could have mentioned the email I sent, but I didn't. I just sat there, expression neutral, and let him finish his presentation about accountability and consequences. Derek wrapped up with a pointed statement. HR will be reviewing this situation. We can't afford this kind of negligence. The meeting ended. Everyone filed out quietly. I went back to my desk, opened my email, and forwarded one message. The email went to our CFO, Linda, and our CEO, Robert. Subject line, RE, Derek Mitchell supplier decision, timeline, and documentation. I attached my original concerns about the supplier, timestamped 6 weeks before the order. Derek's dismissive response. His written approval overriding my recommendation. The follow-up where I requested confirmation in writing. His reply, confirmed, moving forward. My call is final. Then I attached the meeting invitation where Derek had scheduled today's blame session, with the agenda item, address procurement failure, Marcus accountability. I pressed send at 11:40 a.m. Then, I went to lunch. When I got back at 1:15, Derek's office was dark. His assistant looked shaken. By 2:30, I got a meeting request from Linda. She was sitting with our head of HR when I walked in. We've reviewed the documentation you sent. Linda's voice was carefully neutral. Can you walk us through your decision-making process on the supplier issue? I did, calmly, with dates, with references to company policy about procurement approvals over $100,000. I showed them where Derek had final sign-off authority and had exercised it over my explicit objections. At 3:12 p.m., I watched through my office window as 2 security guards walked Derek across the parking lot. He was carrying a box. He kept looking back at the building, confused, like he was trying to figure out what had happened. Kelsey was crying at her desk. Linda called me at 3:45. You'll report directly to me until we hire Derek's replacement. We're also reviewing the approval process. Your documentation may have just saved the company from a wrongful termination lawsuit, possibly saved us from a much bigger problem if this pattern had continued. Derek sent me a LinkedIn message that night. One sentence. What did you do? I didn't respond. 2 weeks later, I heard he'd been blacklisted from 3 companies in our industry. Apparently, Linda had made some calls. Turns out this wasn't the first time he'd pulled this trick, just the first time someone had kept receipts. My new boss started last Monday. Her first question in our one-on-one, I heard you're thorough with documentation. Can you teach the team your process?